leave that out of there, and we're good.
You're solo. You're flying solo.
I don't get it. You know, I need some attractive people beside me. Decoration. I need decorative people beside me. No. I actually had a job once where the head asked me to hire the receptionist and said it's very well. We spent a lot of money on artwork, beautiful furniture. He says, so make sure when you hire the position, it understands how decorative the reception area has to be.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? That's the way he told me when I was interviewing people. Yeah? Decorative reception area. He said.
Sexual harassment.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. No, and this was a very experienced guy in relations. He was the human resources guy of a major corporation. I won't say who it was now. One of my earlier jobs. Decorative reception area.
Okay,
Dark Matter, yes.
So we've heard this next episode coming every Friday is a game changer. How would you like to?
Wait, which one's next? Wait, what did we just do? I gotta remember. I know them all too well.
Six's backstory.
So what?
Six's backstory.
Six's backstory.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what's next. The game changer, is that the...
Four returns.
What?
Four returns with the android. There's some interaction.
I gotta remember which one's which. Because I know them all, but... God, I'm sorry, do you want to give me 2 seconds? I'll remember which one it is. Wait a minute. Thea will know. Where's Thea? Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm working on season 4 right now. I can tell you what's happening in the 3rd season of season 4. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I gotta be careful. No, I have the story arcs for all the characters for season 4 now. So when you say game changer, I got some pretty big game changers for season 4, and that's all that popped in my head. I said, wait a minute, how do they know this? But you're talking about episode 7, so she's just gonna give me anything else while we're getting my research.
When you're breaking down the season, like you said, you have all the story arcs for the characters.
Well, I have the basic arcs for the characters and where they're going to go. I can tell you what the plan was for 4 when he went back to become Rio before we even started. Right? We adapted a whole bunch of things as we went. There's a cute episode coming up. God, I gotta just see how far it is away. If it's only 1 episode away, I can give you a hint. If it's 3 or 4, I won't. But, so this is the... Wait.
Yeah, if you just want to pass that around.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That'd be great.
Okay, so wait a minute. This is Six's backstory. You were told that already? Oh, okay. What happened is that there's an interesting vehicle that's a mind game on 6. I can tell you that part, all right? Because you're on tonight, right? So, yeah, they play. There's a mind game on 6 that basically will give you some real insights into his backstory, and you're going to see that he's a really good guy. Because that's the one thing that we've been playing with in the show on a regular basis is whether the motivation of all of our characters at any point in time was good. Were they good people at one point in time? What made them evil? It's a funny thing. I've been having this debate with the writers when we get to season 4 because we're introducing a new character. And we've got this very detailed backstory that made that person evil. And we're arguing what makes people evil. So we do have that in that episode coming up. You're going to learn a lot more about 6. And you're going to learn a lot more about his past. So it's going to be fun. If you're a 6 fan, you'll love the episode.
What about the android? She's showing some glitches in the light, or at least some of them.
Yeah, well, what we've been playing with the android is the upgrade. Okay, has these human qualities, and can they coexist? And you're going to see that factored a lot more into the show because if you've been watching reports today even from Elon Musk and everybody, they're talking about androids getting human qualities and how dangerous that is for the world. Elon Musk has apparently gone on record to say androids could screw up the whole world, right? And he's afraid of them, right? So we're going to take that on a very much further level because we're going to give human qualities. We've given human qualities to android. But you're going to see that there's a big conflict between being sympathetic and having feelings to being an objective sort of person who serves the crew.
So is it all stemming from just that programming that she's taken on, or is somebody else perhaps tweaking?
There is a backstory that you will get 3 or 4 episodes from now. That is so fun that you'll embrace the android a lot more. all right, because her backstory, we've given hints to you a couple times that 2 and the android had a backstory that you don't know much about. You're going to learn a lot about that in 3 or 4 episodes, and that's going to tell you that it's not just the upgrade. How's that? Okay.
It was revealed earlier in the season that 5 has a sister. So, I mean, are we going to get to that eventually, or is that going to be more into next season?
Well, you want season 4.
Okay.
Yeah. And the sister story is really cool. And in fact, that's what without giving too much away, I've been on the phone with the writers, and I was in the room the other day discussing exactly what the sister is, what her relationship with 5 is, and it's coming out beautifully. Beautifully. We didn't have what the story was, we just sort of planted a sister. So now we're writing the story. But the sister story is going to be interesting. And again, it's going to get back to the roots of what the show is. The environment that you're brought up in, is what they are. And if her sister and she were separated, right? What influences on her sister made her sister who she is? What influences on 5 made her who she is? Very different backstories.
This season we've been seeing a lot of separation because 4 is of course off the ship most of the time, all the time, and so is 6. Are we going to see a reintegration of either one of those characters back into the ship environment, or are they just gone from that?
They have to come together, okay? You can't, the Raza has to be the Raza. I mean, the crew has to be the crew. What we're doing right now is we're letting you learn a lot more about them so that if and when they do come back sort of thing, you understand that you understand them better. So this is a vehicle really to get you closer to who the characters are. I'm not saying they all come back easily and beautifully, right? But the objective was to get them back together. There are some problems doing that.
What about the Jason Corso, the original one?
Listen, I have to be honest. I'm the one that killed him, right? Yeah, I'm the one that killed one. What?
It was you.
Yeah, it was me. I just, there's a lot of pressure to kill characters nowadays. Game of Thrones started this whole thing, and what happened was he wasn't supposed to die. Okay, but I don't want people to assume every character is invincible. I mean, what fun would the show be if they're all coming back and they're all going to live all the time? So you have to be quite aware of the fact that any one of the characters can die at any time. I mean, it would not be fun. I mean, I don't know about you, but I used to watch shows and, there's 5 minutes left in the episode. They're not going to die, They're going to save the day. They're going to escape, And I used to always watch the clock when I was watching television to see when this situation is going to be resolved. I'm not going to allow that with this show. I have to have you really worried that they're not going to live, they're not going to make it back. And I'm going to make sure that you always, without giving it away, I'm going to make sure you're worried about whether or not they live or die.
But you also have these alternate world versions of the characters.
Yeah. We have the alternate world. We did that as a little fun thing for the Jace Corso character. And now we have, because the Marauder escaped through that time warp thing, the reality warp. So we get to play with that. And we will keep playing with that. Okay, like I say, the Jace Corso character, his character actually, when I told everybody we're killing him, it was because his character was a difficult one to keep going anyways, because he wasn't really part of the crew. If I told all you guys you were multimillionaires tomorrow and you were going to be billionaires, let's say, it's nowadays. If I told you you're going to be a billionaire, would you really want to be on the Raza? Or would you go back? So we were trying to dissipate the storyline for him. That's why I let him go. He's a great actor, good character, but the storyline for 4 or 5 years is going to be tough anyways.
But again, Jason Corso, as we know now, is part of one of the originals.
Yeah, Jace Corso is still alive. Okay, yeah, no, he's still alive. We killed him in one reality, not in the other, right? So he could come back, yeah.
So should we be worried about 4 at this point? Because you have hinted at the fall of the House of Vashida.
Yeah, that's a very important storyline. Well, let me ask you something. If the House of Vashida fell, what would happen to 4? What would you want to happen to 4? Would you want to say, geez, I screwed up? That I don't like who I was? Because really, I think you should want that for every character. You should want every character in this show to like who they are today and not want to be who they were before their memory was wiped. That's an important part of the show. I mean, the reason I was brought to the comic book originally is because the idea that you can change who you are and be a better person and do more. I put a speech into the opening episode where 2 is oxygen deprived, about how harder it is to be good than bad. And I added that specially to the script because that's what I want the show to be about. So I think 4's got to realize that being a real rat, isn't really the way to go for him. It's not what he's good at.
How difficult is it to write that sort of oh crap moment at the end for every episode?
Oh, it's a lot of work. And unfortunately, we don't pull it off every episode. But no, we throw things in. I mean, it's there's been a debate whether that's good or not. Because some people get really mad that they have to wait a week to find something out. And with streaming nowadays, that doesn't do you much. I mean, if you're watching Netflix, there's that little thing running around saying, "Do you want the next episode?" And it doesn't matter if you're on Netflix. It doesn't matter if you watch it that minute or watch it a week later, right? But in normal television programming, sci-fi, we want you to come back tonight. In fact, this show's success depends on keeping you there because audiences tend to soften up towards the end of a show because they know it's going to be on Netflix in the next month or so. So if you miss the last 3 or 4 episodes, you go to Netflix, you'll find them. So it's important that we do that every episode to keep you coming back. And we want you to want to be there first, too. We want you to chat about it. We want you to be excited about it. But it is hard. It's really, really hard. And what we've done is sometimes we know a storyline that we're going to introduce in season 4 or 5, and we'll hint it. You've seen the hints about androids becoming a problem. You've seen the hints about aliens. And because we like to believe we are true sci-fi, which is hard to find nowadays, we have to play with those things and hint to you that aliens will be a big deal, androids will be a big deal, that our characters will be in danger every week. So that's what we're trying to do with those tags.
So when you play with a character's reality, are you going to deal with the after effects of that? So 6 went through what to him was a real experience. Now he's back in what we hope is the real world. But how does he really know that? Does he question that along the way?
Yeah, that's what he's going to have to do, right? But 6 has so many questions to ask himself, right? He doesn't know who he is right now, and you're going to see him struggling with that because his real motivation is to save everybody. Always wants to save people. That's what he wants, and I think you're going to see, even in this episode coming up, that he's still debating what's being a good guy, what's being a bad guy. And when we reveal some things about his backstory, you're going to see he has some hard decisions in order to be good to other people versus himself. This is the guy willing to sacrifice for the right moral story. And he's probably got that. He's got that more than anybody else on the show. Is that fair? Okay. So am I being pulled away?
Yeah.
All right. Did that help?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.